Hi, and welcome back to this new video tutorial of Akeneo. In today's video tutorial, what we'll be doing is we'll be checking out Shopware 6 Akeneo Connector. Now, using this particular connector, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to connect your Shopware 6 store with the Akeneo PIM software there, and you'll be able to manage a wide variety of products at the Akeneo end, and then you'll be able to export that product data from Akeneo into your Shopware 6 web store there. So basically, using this particular connector, you'll be able to export product models, categories, what we say as attributes, attribute options, and dynamic groups from Akeneo into your Shopware 6 web store there. So in today's particular video, what we'll be doing is we'll be checking the workflow at the Akeneo backend panel, wherein initially we'll be seeing how the Akeneo admin in the first place will be able to connect the Shopware 6 store with the Akeneo there by setting up the credentials there. Thereafter, we'll be seeing the attribute mapping, the other option mapping between the Shopware 6 fields and the Akeneo fields there. And thereafter, we'll be seeing how we'll be able to create an export job for exporting the products from the Akeneo into the Shopware 6 web store. Kindly note that this particular connector can also be used to import products from Shopware 6 into Akeneo there. But for that, what you'll be able to do is you'll only be able to import a particular category products in one go. For importing different categories, you have to create the system one by one there. So I'll be showing you that as well in this particular video there. But before I proceed further with this particular video tutorial today, please do subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive the latest updates from our end. And if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. So let's hop onto the Akeneo backend panel and let's see the initial configuration settings and the rest of the workflow there. And then we'll be seeing the Shopware 6 end as well. For the same, let's hop onto the Akeneo backend panel now. So right now you can see that I'm at the Akeneo backend panel, and we'll be logging into the Akeneo backend panel first. But before I proceed further, I just wanted to tell you, after you've purchased the Shopware 6 Akeneo connector, you'll get a zip file within which you'll have two different modules to install. One module needs to be installed at the Akeneo end, that's the Shopware 6 Akeneo connector at the Akeneo end. The other needs to be installed at your Shopware 6 backend panel there. So for the same, first I'll take you to the Shopware 6 backend and I'll show you where exactly you want to install that particular plugin at, and then I'll take you back to the Akeneo end to check the rest of the workflow there. So here you can see that this is the Akeneo backend panel and this is the Shopware 6 backend panel. So I'll be logging into the Shopware 6 backend panel by entering the username, password, and tapping on the login button thereafter. And after we have successfully logged into the Shopware 6 backend panel, what we need to do is we need to go to settings, plugins, or we can go to settings, system, and plugins. And here at the top you can see the upload plugin. Within that particular zip file that you'll receive, you'll have the Shopware Akeneo connector as well within the same. So you need to upload that up here within the Shopware 6 backend, and you need to enable this particular connector there. Now this particular connector that you installed here would be used to import the images from the Akeneo into the Shopware 6 there. So this was the installation part of one of the zip mods that you need to install at the Shopware end. And now let's go to the Akeneo end and let's log into the Akeneo backend panel by entering the username, password, and tapping on the login button thereafter. Now, after we have successfully logged in here and after you have successfully installed the Shopware 6 Akeneo connector at the Akeneo end as well, you have to scroll down on the side hand panel and here you'll find the Shopware 6 connector, as you can see, with the name Shopware 6. And if I tap on that, this would bring up the different options for the Shopware 6 connector. So the very first thing that we had discussed was how to connect the Shopware 6 store with the Akeneo PIM software there. For that, we need to set up the credentials, and the very first thing that we'll be doing is we'll be setting up the credentials. So we'll go to the setup credentials section, and here as you can see that I've already set up the credentials there. But to give you a gist there how to set up the same, what you can do is you can go to the create credential option and tap here on the create credential. Now here you need to enter your website URL, the Shopware 6 store URL, the access key, secret key, and you have to select the Shopware version from the drop down here. Now let me take you to the Shopware end and let me show you how we can get the access key ID and the secret access key. For that, we have to go to settings, and here we'll go to system, and then we'll go to integrations, and here we'll tap on the add integration button. You can set a name for the integration, and you can choose a particular role for the same, and here you'll find the access key ID and the secret access key. Now before saving the integration, you have to save the key, because after saving it would no longer be visible due to the safety concerns there. So just copy the access key ID and the secret access key and paste it up within these particular sections here. And for the URL, you can use your URL as per your own requirement there. So for this particular demonstration, I'll be choosing this particular URL and I'll be pasting it up here within this particular section. And then we'll choose the Shopware version and we'll tap here on the save button. Now after we have saved the particular thing, you will see it likewise, as you can see this one. And if I open this up after I've saved the particular integration there, this would bring up the common section, as you can see, for the credential. And here we are having the Shopware 6 URL, the Shopware version, the access ID, the secret access key, and then you'll automatically see the Shopware default store currency. And then we can see two options here. One is the local mapping and the currency mapping. So now what we need to do is we need to shop the Shopware locales with the Akeneo locales. Accordingly, for the Shopware local, you can choose the Akeneo local from the drop down here, and then you need to choose the Shopware default language, and this is a must to be chosen. That's the Shopware default language there. Then under the currency mapping, you need to map the Shopware currency with the Akeneo locales there. For the currencies, as you can see, Euro has been done with Euro, US dollars with the US dollars. And after you're done with these particular section, you have to tap here on the save button, and we are then setting up the credentials section there. So we're done with the setting up of the credentials there. Now coming to the set up attribute mapping section, here you will find the complete list of what we say as the standard attributes of the fields in Shopware being automatically displayed, and the required ones are having the asterisks to the right there. And you need to map the fields in the Shopware with the fields in the Akeneo there. Now some of the fields in the Shopware would not be available in Akeneo. For that, what you need to do is you need to create the simple select attributes for those field values of Shopware in Akeneo, and then you will be able to select those up as per your own requirement for doing the mapping there. Now here you can see that the name has been mapped with name, text, rate with text. Now the delivery time is not available in Akeneo there, so I've created a simple select attribute with the name delivery time, and I've mapped the delivery time of field of Shopware with the field in Akeneo with the delivery time. And similarly, you can map the fields in Shopware with the fields in Akeneo and with the variant fields in Akeneo as well. So similarly, you'll do it for the rest of the Shopware fields that have been automatically listed here. And after you're done with that, if there are any more standard attributes that have not yet been mapped with the Akeneo attributes, then you can enter that Shopware standard attribute code here, and you can tap here on the add field, and that would be added within this particular section here. And accordingly, you can then select the Akeneo attribute and the variant attributes at the Akeneo end for the same there. Now kindly note that this particular connector also helps you to do the mapping of the custom fields there. So if you have created any custom fields at the Akeneo at the Shopware 6 end, you can map those custom fields with the Akeneo fields as well. So for that, you have to enter the Shopware custom attribute code here, and then tap here on the add field. It would be added within this particular section here, and then you can map the Shopware field, the what we say as the Shopware custom attribute code field with the Akeneo fields there as per the requirement. Apart from that, you'll also be able to do the other mappings that includes the attributes to be used as cover image with the Akeneo attribute. So the model picture attribute would be used as the cover image at the Shopware 6. Similarly, the attribute to be used as images, the picture and model pictures would be used as the attributes for the images there at the Shopware 6. The attributes to be used as images for variants. The variant picture attribute would be used for the images for the variants at the Shopware 6 end. Similarly, you have the attributes to be used as property values for export. So here you can select the particular property, what we say as a simple select or multi-select options for export, and that would be used as attributes, and those attributes would be used as the property values for the products at the Shopware 6 end. Similarly, you have the attribute and families to be used as tags. So here you can choose, for example, family. Then the family would be used as a tag within the product details. There within the tag section, you can choose the particular tag to be used, the Akeneo tag to be used as the attribute and family, what we say as to be used as the tags at the Shopware 6 and there. Apart from that, we have the display in listing attributes. So here you can choose the Akeneo attributes that can be used in the layered navigation section at the Shopware 6 end. So if you have chosen here brand, camera type, now these attribute values would be available there at the Shopware 6 end for the customers to select, and they can further filter down the products using the same as per the requirement there. Now kindly note that we also need to create a simple select attribute at the Akeneo end with the name rule and or rule English as per your own requirement, and you need to map that up with the rules of the Shopware 6 field value there. Now after you're done with these this particular section here, that's the attribute mapping, you can tap here on the save button, and then coming to the import settings. Under the import setting, what you will be able to do is you'll be able to set the family for importing the products there. Now at a time you can only import the products from a single family there. If you want to import products for multiple families there, then what you need to do is you need to change the family, and then you need to import the products as per the requirement there. And lastly, we have the other settings. Now under the other settings, you will be able to do the mapping for the export of the boolean tags. So you can choose whether the boolean tag should be a yes or a no, a true or a false. Similarly, you can select a yes or a no for exporting the metric tag values with unit or not. So you can choose a yes or a no for that. Then we have the media folder ID. So you can choose where exactly the product images should be saved at the Shopware 6 end. So if you have a particular, what we say as, for example, if we are going to the particular section there, I don't exactly remember. Alright, under content we have the media. So if I want to save the media within the for example within the product manufacturer media, so I can go ahead and I can copy this ID here and I can paste this up here for the media folder ID, and all of the product images would be saved within this particular section. Otherwise, if I keep it as empty, then the images would be saved in the default section there under the media folder itself, as you can see right now in the URL there. Now coming back to the particular section here, then we have the export metric complete unit or symbol properties there. So here you can choose a complete unit should be sent out, or the symbol of the thing should be sent out, and accordingly you can save it up thereafter. So this was basically the initial configuration settings, wherein we saw how to integrate the Shopware 6 store with the Akeneo by entering the what we say as the credentials there, and then we saw the setup of the attribute mapping, the import setting, and the other settings there. Now let's see how we'll be able to export the products from Akeneo into the Shopware 6 store. So if I go to the Shopware 6 store and I go to catalog and products here, and here I'm having one product with the name belt, for example. So let me do one thing, let me select it out and let me delete it from the Shopware 6 end. So I've deleted the belt here. Now let me come down to the particular section here in the Akeneo end, and I'll go to the product section here, and under the product section here you can see that I have the belt product. So I can select that up and I can do a quick export as well. Otherwise we can go to the export section, and basically as I've already told you, we can export the categories, product models, attribute options. But what you need to do is you have to go in a particular progression there. So first you need to export the categories, then attributes, attribute options, then you'll be able to export the products, product models, so on and so forth there. So hey, for each I've created a separate profile there. Apart from that, you can also export the dynamic groups as well. So what are the dynamic groups? So for example, you're having a simple product there and you have added a cross-selling or an upselling product to it. Now that particular associated product first needs to be exported from the Akeneo into the Shopware 6. For that, what you need to do is you need to run the dynamic group export profile there, and then that particular associated product would be added at the end here under the dynamic product group section. This is the dynamic product group section, as you can see, would be added there. And after you have exported the dynamic group product there or the associated product, then you can go with the Shopware 6 product export, and you can export a particular product that has those particular associations. And then when we go and check that particular product, for example, here under the particular section, for example, I'll be showing you that as well. But first, let's see how we can export the simple product from the Akeneo into the Shopware 6 there. So I'll come down back to the product section, and for this particular demo, I'll be using a quick export. So I'll choose this particular product and I'll tap here on the quick export. Here I'll be selecting Shopware 6 quick export, all attributes with labels, with media, and I'll tap here on the export button thereafter. Now you can see that the quick export has been launched, and now let's check the particular progress here. Now this will take a bit of time there for this particular process to complete, so we'll just wait for that. So first the product export would be there, and then the product model export would be there. The product export has started, as you can see here on this particular end of the Akeneo. And after this particular Shopware 6 product quick export has completed, then we'll be able to see the particular product here available within this particular section under the products in the Shopware 6 end there. Now you can see that the product export has completed. One has been read and one has been written. So now if I come down here and I refresh the page here at the Shopware 6 end, we'll be able to see that belt product being displayed. So here's the belt product. And here you can see right now we are not having any cross-selling products within the same. And so you've understood the simple product export from Akeneo into the Shopware 6. Now let's go back to the Shopware end and let's go to the products. And under products, let me go to the belt product, for example, and let me add some associations to this particular product there. So here you can see that we have an association, that's the bag association. So this is associated with this particular simple product, but this has not been exported here under the cross-selling there. So we have here, you can see that one product is the cross-selling product here. Now what I need to do is I need to go to the export, and after going to the export, I'll go to the Shopware 6 dynamic group export profile that we have created, and let me edit it up. And after editing it up, let me go to the content and contains belt. I'll save it up and I'll tap here on the export. Now this particular association that we had added to the belt, that was the bag, would be exported. So you can see that the product dynamic group export has been done, read one, written one. And now if I refresh this particular page here for the belt product, you can see that still the cross-selling product is not being displayed here. Now, but if I go to the catalogs and dynamic product groups, here you can see the particular product has been listed under the dynamic product groups, that the X_cell. Now, if I go back to the products and I go to the belt product and I do a quick export once again, after the other one has been done here, and let's wait for this particular process to complete. As soon as this particular process now completes, we'll be able to see the particular dynamic product being associated with the product here. So if I go to the products and go to the belt product, we'll be able to see the cross-selling product being listed here. So let's wait for this particular process to complete that. That was for the Shopware 6 product quick export. In the meantime, let me show you how you can create the export jobs. So you can go to the export section and here you can tap on the create export profile. You can give a code, label, and under the job required, you need to scroll down to a particular section that says Shopware 6 connector. So here you can create a job for exporting all to Shopware 6, or you can go with the category export to Shopware 6, attribute export to Shopware 6, attribute option export to Shopware 6, product export to Shopware 6, product model export to Shopware 6, and dynamic group export to Shopware 6. So for the associations, we need to go with the dynamic group export first for exporting the dynamic group products or the associations there, and after that we can run the normal quick export job or the product export job to basically add those associations to the respective product there. Now let me cancel this out and let's go to the activity here, the process tracker, and let's check whether it has completed or not. So the simple product quick export has completed. Now if I go to the belts and I refresh this particular page here, we'll be able to see the cross-selling product data as well. So here you can see the same product data is visible here as well. That's the dynamic product, that is of the dynamic product group there. And here you can see if I go to the catalog, dynamic product groups, here's the particular product that we had imported first, and then if I go to the products, here is the belt product, and now we are able to see the cross-selling product as well visible here within this particular section there. So this was the particular section there, and similarly you will be able to import the Shopware 6 categories, Shopware 6 options, product import, attribute and import, attribute and attribute option import can also be done using the create import profile. So for that you just need to tap here on the create import profile and then give the code, label, and under the job required you have to scroll down to the particular section that says Shopware 6 connector. So here you can create the job for importing the Shopware 6 options like text ID, manufacturer, delivery time, etc. And you can import the categories by creating the Shopware 6 category import job, importing of the attribute and attribute options, and the product import from the Shopware 6 into the Akeneo there itself. So yes, that was much about this particular video tutorial today for the Shopware 6 Akeneo connector, and I hope that this particular video helped you out in understanding the workflow of this particular connector at the Akeneo end as well as at the Shopware 6 end. If you still have any questions, queries, sessions, or requirements regarding this particular plugin, then you can anytime get back to us at support@webcool.com, or you can raise a ticket at webcool.uvdesk.com as well. Apart from that, if you find this particular video helpful, then do kindly give it a thumbs up. And lastly, thanks for watching this particular video and have a great day ahead.